Fight fans, our second fight of the night scheduled 3 5-minute rounds in our unified welterweight division. Introducing first to my left, the man fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5 foot 11 inches tall, his official weight 170.8 pounds. Representing one martial arts in the Fort Martial Arts from Fort McMurray, Alberta, and tonight making his pro MMA debut. Please welcome Mark Mosure. Across the ring, his opponent, this man fighting out of the red corner. Also standing 5 foot 10 inches tall, his official weight 169.6 pounds. Representing Niagara top team in St. Catharines, Ontario, and also tonight making his pro MMA debut. Please welcome Clayton the Bear Pye. When the cage door closes, your referee in charge is Matt Rocca.
MMA veteran Matt Rocca, third man inside of the cage. A thunderous ovation for Pye. Is it as simple as, just like we said in the last fight, for Bonilla to get the fight to the canvas and use his jiu-jitsu? Is that the case for Pye? Touch gloves, use your wrestling to put your guy in the mat.
I think that's definitely the best path to victory.
Just like this!
And he's been doing that his whole life. Even if he doesn't get this first takedown, this is what he does. He's proved to this guy he can already take him down.
Mosure, we saw a couple of head kicks, just like we saw in the first fight. Can disrupt the game plan, one of the best weapons.
Oh, nice exchange for Clay there.
And Clayton's not just a wrestler, right? Yeah, I spoke to his coach, Chris Prickett, earlier today, and Chris was saying that he's well ahead of schedule in terms of his striking.
He's been picking the striking up very quickly. He's only been doing it for maybe a year, but the striking's coming along very quickly. Look at that high guard. He's defending himself, and beautiful level change in deep.
Right against the cage. Pye in a good position.
He's got the chin strap in the ankle. They're going to make it very difficult for Mosure to build back up onto his bottom leg.
Let's see what type of defense or stand-up abilities Mosure has.
I like the way Clay is shelving that leg. Okay, just let go of it now. Mosure's kind of wall walking. Clay's doing a good job of not staying, of trapping the hips here so Mosure can't really explode off the fence. I'd like to see him pull Mosure off the fence actually and just take some of that spring out of his legs if he does choose to bridge hard.
And that's the goal for Mosure, push off the cage,
yeah.
Try to create a scramble situation.
Exactly, yeah, it's one of the, oh, he's got his toes in the cage there, which is illegal. I'd like to see the ref call him on that.
Matt Rocca looking at the action.
If you were curious why they call him the Bear, you're probably not curious
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, even looking at these guys, one guy looks like he lifts weights and one guy looks like he lifts people, man. Clay's just got, if anyone's ever grabbed a hold of a wrestler, he's got that build that he looks strong and he looks like he is way stronger than he looks.
I mentioned, of course, that he was on the Brock University wrestling team, and Chris Prickett, his coach, was one of his coaches there. He said to Chris, I want to transition over to MMA, and of course, Chris, knowing his work ethic, was thrilled to hear that.
I want to give a shout out to Chris and Matt who let me punch the bags at Niagara top team today.
Oh,
such a great facility, and now you see Pye.
So Clay's in one of his best positions, which is front headlock here. This is somewhere he thrives, both in wrestling and in MMA. It's extremely hard to drag out from here. Mosure has the cage behind him, so at least he can try and wall walk. Like, grabbing the leg's not the call from there. He grabs the leg, he's in trouble. He's going to get mat returns pretty hard here.
What's Pye's offensive options from this position?
He likes to turn guys, so he's likely going to look to throw Mosure from here. He does have some strangle options, and he does have the ability to pull that off, but I would assume he's looking to get on top with this front headlock. Not something you see often in MMA, a little more common in freestyle wrestling.
But at the end of the day, he's racking up points. He's ahead in this round, taking very, very little damage, and you would imagine that the team and coaches are satisfied with exactly what they're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get a little bit of damage off, like, Ontario's very heavy on damage over control, so you don't want to let the round slip away by not throwing too many strikes, but it'd be pretty hard to score the round against Clay at this point, I think.
Also tough to throw strikes from this position. You got a knee down from his opponent. You're trying to control him. Not a whole lot he can do in terms of striking right now in this position.
Yeah, and he's in no rush, too. Okay, now he's got a modified crucifix. Okay, never mind.
Mosure actually comes from a wrestling background himself, but again, Pye was close to being on the Olympic team. In fact, the guy that he lost to in international trials was a guy he had beaten prior pretty handily, but he had an illness at the time. It was March 2020. You can probably guess what that was, and that really hindered his ability to wrestle that day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the illness you're talking about.
That's something called the coronavirus.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Although he was never officially diagnosed at the time because there were no tests at the time. Again, March 2020.
Nicely done by Clay to continue closing the distance. And just see how much pressure he's driving into Mosure's diaphragm here.
Mosure just doesn't seem to have an answer for the attack of Pye. 30 seconds remaining in round number 1.
The answer might be stay on your feet for the next 20 seconds and get that reset at the beginning of the next round.
Yeah.
Is there anything Mosure can do? If they were to break right now, do you think he could land a couple of... Oh, and missed it. And now Mosure in a good position. I'm saying if you could land a couple of strikes, you never know. You could even things up with some debilitating strikes just like that. The round comes to an end, and you hear the corner of Pye shouting out instructions.
I'm not sure if it's the corner or just the fans.
That's
here.
the fan, yeah.
A couple of guys definitely pre-gamed tonight's fights.
Mosure just listening to his corner, trying to recover. As we look back at some of the action, Mike, what did you like from round 1?
I love the control out of Clay, right? This was clearly Clay's round as far as control goes. While, damage is kind of main criteria, I think you'd have a hard time scoring that round against Clay. I think that's the path to victory, is get on top, make this fight grimy and gritty, break dirty with strikes like you're seeing here, but go back to the wrestling well as often as possible.
Especially because he could do this all day.
Yeah.
He's so used to this. You're not going to get these guys tired in these grappling exchanges.
I think even, you're not going to get this guy tired, and even if you do, that's what he does all day. When he's tired, he wrestles. When he's fresh, he wrestles. So I don't think fatigue is going to be something.
And that's one
beautiful high crotch shot. Man, he's quick on that. Nice chest pressure. Oh, good defense by Mosure.
Oh, looking for that jumping knee was Mosure. He knows that this is going to be a grappling battle, so he's got to pick his moments, and Pye manages to get the fight down to the ground once again.
Clay's got a nice little half Nelson here. He's kind of reverse collar tying with that underhook and creating like a pry motion on the back of Mosure's head, making it difficult for him to build head height, which is something Mosure wants to do here. So now, while the hand has changed position, Clay's shoulder and head driving weight into Mosure's upper body is going to make it difficult for him to build height, especially if he can't get his knees under his head.
Is this one of those situations that the most important thing for Pye is to control? Because every time, if he breaks to try to strike, Mosure gets out of these bad positions.
Yeah, I'd like to see just a little inching toward the good position. So little things like that. Yeah. Chip away with knees, little drags, little pestering the legs, little pestering the feet, little reaps here, which I think he's about to do. Looks like he's in a good position to start reaping that leg. There he goes back to the half. It just allows for advancement in position without major energy exerting moves. Like that was a great, it would be an Ochigari attempt with hooking your opponent's leg and looking to drop him to the mat. It got him that back position on the other side.
Mosure doesn't seem to have an answer right now.
Goshi attempt from Mosure, but got him bottom position. That seemed like a little bit of a frustration move there where he's like, okay, I've been stuck. I need to try something, which...
Do you like that philosophy?
I prefer things to be set up rather than done out of frustration, right? Like maybe that's his move in the gym.
Right.
But it just didn't look like he was in a great position to really get a nice Goshi, especially against a high-level wrestler like Clay. Like his scrambling ability is pretty solid. So.
But when does the point of desperation come in? When you've tried all your best moves, you're trying to get out of these things. You've seen them in the gym. You know the escapes. You just can't get out of these positions because you're facing a more dominant, a more skilled adversary.
I think, yeah, we're probably about a minute. Oh, beautiful chest pressure. Stay on him, though. I don't like all that work to get a guy down and then let him back up. So I want to see Clay close that distance and stay on him, control the feet, and start looking for some ground and pound.
I've got to say, Mosure's having some success, at least at not being completely manhandled and kept down.
Beautiful
massive right hook.
See, this is a great path to victory for Clay as well. While he's not really solidifying the takedowns, when Mosure's building back to his feet, Clay's using that space to land several shots before shooting again. That's a beautiful strategy here.
Relentless pressure by Pye.
And Mosure's keeping it on the feet here. I mean, he's doing the best he can, but when you've got a guy like Pye, again, the nickname the Bear, just smothering you and trying to take you down, it's very difficult to maintain this kind of defense for 5 minutes of a round.
Look for chest pressure for the finish here from Clay.
Targeting that right leg, the single.
His head's a little bit low. I don't love seeing it under there, especially with elbows. Yeah.
Just like that.
And doubles off and comes up to the body. Good head position by Clay. Yeah, I think, John, to answer your question, this is the time where desperation starts setting in. Got about a minute, a little over a minute left in this round. You need to do something, and that's not it.
That's probably not it, yeah.
No. And just exactly like you were saying.
Well, he's trying to flash the knee, but Pye is being patient to his credit.
That's perfect. He's landing his shots when he can. He's controlling the fight in between.
And then on top of that, what we don't see on camera and the viewers don't see at home is what Pye can feel. He can feel his opponent's energy dropping and getting lower. Some of these attacks are a little easier than they were in the first round.
Yeah, and as far as scoring goes, where they talk about damage, one, Mosure's bleeding, but two, that talk about grappling and being held's not as bad as getting punched. But if you've ever wrestled with a guy like Clay and just feel how demoralizing it is trying to push him off of you and feel that again and again and again, you just feel like a little kid. You're like, what do I need to do to get this guy off of me? I'll put my hands down if we can stand back up, and I'll let you punch me in the face if I can just get back to my feet, because this is absolutely miserable.
Couple of short shots by Mosure.
And let's not confuse damage with just throwing strikes and landing strikes,
Yes.
right? These aren't damaging strikes that he's throwing. The damage is coming here with the effective grappling.
Yeah.
The grappling is depleting Mosure, and I'm sure the judges see that.
Yeah. I like those kind of blitzes that Clay's doing every time they separate, though, and he blitzes Mosure back to the cage. Those ones I feel like that must be where the blood's coming from.
2 rounds in the books. The crowd supportive of their own. Clayton Pye. It is gut check time. If you are Mosure, you have got to listen to your corner, because I'm sure they're trying to come up with a sound game plan for you to leave the cage victorious. As we look back at some of the action. And it was all the grappling of Pye.
Yeah, this has been the story of the fight so far. Takedowns, nothing that's been solidified for too long, but just a lot of wall grappling and wrestling, and then this in between every wrestling exchange is blitzes from Clay, where he's not letting Mosure establish like a boxing range. Oh, Mosure's already in the center. He's trying to...
I like it.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'm ready to give one more valiant effort for the round and give it everything I've got.
Mosure does look a little shaky. Obviously, having to grapple for 2 rounds against the high-level guy will do that to you.
He's a big, muscly guy, too, right? Those muscles get pumped up pretty quickly in those wrestling exchanges.
A little gun-shy there. It's Mosure.
Well, he's got to be efficient with his strikes, right? I mean, I think his only hope right now is to land something that puts him out.
He's got to make it count.
He's been going to the well with the kicks quite a lot. I think Clay's wise to it at this point.
Oh,
as I say that. Attaboy.
And the crowd very supportive of Pye.
Beautiful pass.
North-south position. I would imagine the shots to the belly are coming.
I mean, Mosure made it count, but Pye knows what to do. Put you on your back and make you pay for it.
I mean, if you've been taken down or controlled for 10 minutes so far, you might as well try. You might as well try some flying knees and some head kicks, because maybe it works, but if you were going down this way anyway.
He's still trying.
Yeah, he's still
not
fighting
giving
hard,
up.
man. No, he's working hard. Clay's got that front headlock, and he's looking to tilt. Beautiful. So Clay's got a nice anaconda choke here too, so wouldn't be surprised to see him shoot for the anaconda or the Darce. Clay with a go behind. Is he setting up a Kimura here? Oh, never mind. Oh, he's just got such a heavy side control, man. He's so compact on top. He's a big, strong guy and not a huge frame, right? So just trying to use all your strength to create a little bit of space against a guy like Clay is a pain in the butt. He's really good in this scarf hold position. He's been doing it his entire life. Watch for him to lift the head and grab his own thigh. So the closer I think his knee and elbow become, the tighter the position is. Oh, just breaking dirty with... That's beautiful from Clay.
And Mosure, it just seems like he ran out of steam there. He's trying to get back to his knees and then to the upright position, but not enough oomph.
No, the legs are getting heavy. I think the stand-ups are getting slower and slower. He's trying his best, man. He's digging deep.
Yes, he is.
He's got a lot of heart. But, man, you're going against a world-class wrestler. You're 12 minutes plus deep in a fist fight. It's not a great spot to be in.
Really? Clayton's a minus 165 favorite here, and he looks like a minus 800 favorite. I mean, this is one-way traffic, and I think we're going to be talking about Clayton Pye for a while here on the Canadian scene.
Yeah, he's got a very bright future in this sport.
Now, just obviously the responsibility for Pye is to just get the victory. But when you're so dominant, there is no way anybody that's watching this fight is giving it to Mosure, and that's no disrespect for Mosure. We're talking about the scoring of mixed martial arts. Everybody has seen the grappling dominance of Pye. Do you empty the gas tank with the last 2 minutes and just try to finish this show in style? Or is the focus, no, this is my first time inside of the cage. 15 minutes is super valuable.
I think the former, or the latter, excuse me, to be honest. I think getting the win is obviously the most important thing. Like, this isn't the fight that's getting you called up to the UFC. This isn't the fight that's getting you called up to major organizations or getting you...
Shoulder lock, perhaps?
Oh,
no!
man, beautiful position.
Away, good stop! The crowd going crazy! And this is what we're seeing. Pye trying to empty that gas tank, looking for the finish, trying to thrill the fans watching live in Niagara Falls and live on UFC Fight Pass.
He's defending here, but it's a matter of time.
I stand corrected. He's looking to empty the gas tank, man. Attaboy. Good for him. Promos for that underhook just to sustain control on top. Knee on belly. He's looking to creep into mount, I think. But not rushing it, taking his time. Landing some shoulder strikes there.
All Pye supporters are right behind us. They're all on their feet.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to reestablish that crucifix and get that finish. I don't think he was very far from getting it.
No, I agree with you.
That was great.
Especially when you look at the first fight with Bonilla.
Yeah.
They stopped that fight relatively. Oh, and this is it.
Yeah, he's got mounts.
And you saw that buck by Mosure. Not a lot of energy.
He's slamming the head of Mosure here. He had to let go. Oh, this might be it.
30 seconds remaining. Pye trying to get the finish. Wants it, desperately wants it. You can feel it.
20 seconds, just posture up and pour it on.
Because he could have just
Attaboy.
coasted the whole
Yep.
last 2 minutes.
Yep. Oh, man.
This is a 10-8 round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to finish. Mosure, who continues to buck.
Brilliant debut from Clayton Pye. Just absolutely brilliant.
He might not have gotten the finish, but that's about as great a performance you can put on as while going the distance, man. He really picked it up as the fight went on. Every round was better than the round before. If it's anything other than 30-26, I think the judges need to take the course again.
And you got to give it up to Mosure. He never gave up.
Yep.
Even at the very end, he was trying to get out of bad positions to try to find his way. It didn't work out at this point.
He was in the fight the whole time, man. He was trying to win it. There's no backing down. You know, he's outmatched tonight, but he fought hard.
This kid is the truth. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Doesn't look like a kid, but compared to me, he's a kid.
Taking it in right now. seeing him with his coaches as we look back at some of the action. And there was a lot of it. The grappling exchanges, positional control, the strike submission attempts for a professional mixed martial arts debut. Very impressive. Aaron, do you believe that we're seeing an emerging prospect here in Canada?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you come in with a borderline Olympic pedigree with wrestling, I mean, that's, in my opinion, the best base for MMA. His striking is coming along, looking great, and his instincts are really good too. When you have that kind of commitment to get to the Olympic level, and you can channel that into mixed martial arts, you're going places.
Now he's working the crowd, getting everybody all riled up. I love it.
It wasn't that long ago you got to experience this feeling.
Oh man, that's why I love it, dude. This is the best. Enjoy the moment, man. It looks like he's really soaking it up. Like, as much as there's pressure and this is a tough sport and there's a lot on the line, this is an awesome, awesome sport to get to participate in. So I'm glad he's soaking it up. He's all smiles, he's happy.
All right, we'll see who will leave the cage victorious here in our second bout of the night as we send it up to Don Andrews.
Fight fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Kyle Costello scores the fight 30-27. Judge Patrick Gula scores the fight 29-28. And Judge Salim Hanif scores the fight 29-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, Clayton the Bear Pye.
Now I understand Clayton Pye got the victory. He's very, very happy, but come on, what's with these scores?
Well, if I had to guess, in round 1, perhaps the judge